And a very good morning from David Fordham, and welcome to the replay of the Rugby League third test match between Australia and Great Britain from Central Park.
And Schofield starts the ball rolling with a low trajectory kick, nicely half volleyed by Sterling, gets it to Meninga, and he's picked off with a great tackle by Crooks. Got a bit of a knock there, he's up and about. Now comes Dowling. Dowling goes under a swinging arm tackle. He's about 5 metres out. They're driving him backwards. Simmons is there to try to prop him up. Plays it, looking for Sterling. Sterling gets a kick downfield. It's a midfield kick. It's going to go to Lydon. Lydon's got it. He's bringing it up. O'Connor is there. And he's picked off with a magnificent tackle by Kenny. Right round the boots. 10 metres outside their quarter. Henderson Gill running from dummy half. Try to weave his way through the pack. Midway between the England quarter and halfway. Up they come now. Number 12 there, a strong burst from Andy Goodway, trying to get beyond that advantage line. Little Andy Gregory at dummy half, he's the halfback. And number 11 there is Chris Burton, the high knee action coming in there. And he's lost the football in the tackle, so Burton not having an auspicious first touch. Scrum to go down 8 metres into the England half. Watkinson, last man in, the hooker, and the England pack has gone in underneath the Australians. And now Simmons has still got his head stuck out. It's a penalty to Australia. He's asked the English pack to back off and let the Australians in. They declined to do so, and he's penalised them. Wally Lewis. Oh, that's a good line kick to start with. That's taken play right up to the Great Britain quarter line. That's one area that, the only area I'm critical of in this Australian team. Sterling out to Lewis. Lewis onto Dowling. Under a high tackle there from Burton. Got a pass away to Miles. And Miles is in for a try. Miles is in for the try. A pop pass there. Absolute magnificent stuff right from the early moment. I didn't think there was a pass on. And Gene Miles has cracked them wide open. We're watching it now. The Sterling pass onto Lewis. Lewis cracks it onto Dowling. Dowling goes hard under a high tackle. Pops a pass that could well have been forward. A one-handed pass. And Mr. Ascagney has maybe erred in the opening minutes. Michael O'Connor, the big deep breath. And there he goes. That's a goal to Australia, to Michael O'Connor. So the score after only about 4 minutes here. Australia 6, Great Britain 0. On to Dunn from Simmons. He tears straight ahead. 3 defenders there, having all high, not one of them going low. You know, somebody's got to teach these Englishmen how to go in low. There's Niebling. Oh, and a head high tackle from Burton. Chris Burton came in right round the head there. And you know, it's even Stevens that can be on for the lot here if they want to tackle up there. It takes 2 to tango. We've got now Burton's being spoken to. It's very obvious what the indications are. You must tackle below the neck. And that was a bad high tackle. Dowling's a pretty tough man. Michael O'Connor will take the kick for goal. Well, Graham Hughes, a few little things happening in the game, and obviously the England forwards all fired up. We could see an explosion if they keep tackling up there. Graham Hughes.
We were saying just before the start of the game, Rex, that Burton, that's what he was there for. He's been well known. He's been sent off in international before for high tackling. He collared Niebling that time right round the neck. He's the man that will really try and rev the forwards up. I just doubt if he's match fit. I've been watching him hang out on the blind side for most of these opening minutes.
Michael O'Connor, 10 metres out from the quarter, about 25 metres in from the sideline. Now with the breeze. And it's just away to the right, so the score remains as it was. Australia 6, Great Britain 0. Australia now on to Dunn, pumping it up on the close to the ruck, only about 3 metres away from the play of the ball. Australian side stood very deep at the moment. There's a penalty. No, the referee had the whistle to his mouth. Out to Miles. Miles lobs a long floating pass out to Shearer. Shearer actually sidestepped into that tackle. That was a good one from John Bastard. Kenny. Lewis. Niebling. Out to Dowling. Dowling going hard over the halfway line. Was caught in a deep position there. Away to Sterling. Out to Wally Lewis. The low trajectory grubber type kick coming into play. Oh, is it going to be a beauty? Yes, it is. It's a gain of around about 45 metres end over end, and found itself over the sideline about 7 metres out from the line. Beautiful kick. Worth remembering that Great Britain will have use of this breeze in the second half, and Australia at this point lead by 6 points to 0. Ball being thrown away there, that always irritates me, and it happened with an Australian then. He threw the ball away from Gregory, who had to retrieve it. Now, Gregory, a very stocky figure, big chest and shoulders, very thick thighs. It's in and out. The Great Britain side picked up by John Bassett. He ran sideways there. Myler at dummy half. On a good way. Good way about 15 metres out from his line. And another penalty going to Great Britain. Failure to get away from the tackle player. Niebling was trying to hold him down, according to Rascagne. Now Watkinson taking a long time to work out what he's going to do. So they're not going to kick the touch into the breeze. That seems fairly obvious. I don't know why. They would gain some yardage. Underneath the tackle went Pinner. He's a clever lock forward, this Pinner. Gregory. Pass out to Myler. Myler trying to pop a pass. Is picked up by number 13, our man, Linder. And he's able to get himself well and truly into good possession there. Dowling straightening it up. But these swarming defenders come in on him very smartly. Sterling. Cut-out pass across Niebling to Meninga. Meninga flops a pass out there to Kenny, and Kenny had to leap in the air to take it and did it very well. Meninga, Sterling, done hard and no compromise there, just ran straight into the opposition player, Watkinson. Watkinson rather, out to Sterling. Sterling dummies, weaves. He's tackled 10 metres out from the Great Britain line. Burton was the man that finally put him down. Wally Lewis, penalty there, should be, yes it is. It was a Shepherd. Gary Jack was the man involved. He came there trying to come on the burst off, I think it was Wally Lewis, and he interfered with a defending player. So, Lydon. Now here's the move that came up. You can see Gary Jack overrun the man in possession, Wally Lewis, and go actually into a Great Britain defender. Great Britain still in their quarter. We've had about 20 minutes of play here. The penalties have gone to the Great Britain side by 5-4. And we've had 2 scrums to 1 for Great Britain. They're midway between their quarter and the halfway line. Crooks is the man in possession. Watkinson runs from dummy half. Tries to get a pass away, but it's very ponderous. Quite slow. Stocky man. Lee Crooks kicking. And that's not a bad kick downfield. It'll go to Michael O'Connor on about the 4th bounce. Fields it now. We'll bring it just outside the quarter before the defence comes to him. He's got Jack on the outside of him. Jack goes well, comes in away from the sideline. That's clever play. He's tackled 10 metres from the halfway line. A bust by Michael O'Connor up the sideline. Stepped beautifully. It came inside his man. A gain of about 18 metres. What wonderful skills this fella's got. Wally Lewis. A kick across field. It'll go straight to the wing 3/4, John Bassett, who's put down hard. That was not a selective kick from Wally. Went straight to a player moving fast. Harry Pinner trying his luck through the middle of the ruck. Couldn't make much ground there. Gregory away to Ward. Ward running tough on the blind side. Niebling round the legs. Sterling round the middle. Miles round the top. Gregory. Out there to Pinner. Pinner lobs a nice pass out to Myler. The pass has gone to ground. Wally Lewis, I thought, might have been held back there, but the referee says no. Lee Crooks has got a pass away as he was tapped it forward, even though he had a marker. Henderson Gill, well, a scatterbrain sort of a runner. A fella that goes all over the place. Must be terribly hard for his teammates to follow. But tackle. Dowling was the man. Got up very awkwardly there. Had the ball behind his back. Linden, the chick charge down. Sterling should get to this. He does manage to do that, and he's put hard under pressure. That was David Stevenson, the last tackler. Shearer. And there's a penalty against Great Britain for inside the 5. This is an opportunity for Australia to put the ball deep into their territory with Wally Lewis to kick it. Kicking to the commentary side, the main stand side. Wally Lewis from midfield. And that is a very sound kick taking play over the quarter line. Australia lead by 6 points to 0. We've had 22 minutes of play. Dowling from the tap restart. And they built him back. Some robust defence coming in from this Great Britain pack. Simmons, Lewis, Sterling, Miles. Back into Jack. Jack's on the tear. He's 15 metres out, busted a tackle. He's taken it to within 8 metres of the Great Britain line. Bit of ordinary defence there on the inside. Can't get to his feet now, he does. On to Miles, Sterling. Sterling pops a pass there to Dunn, and Dunn's trying desperately to score in the corner. He's tackled a metre short. Wally Lewis. Oh, beautiful pass from Lewis to Kenny. Kenny away to Sterling. It's touched. Out there it goes to Dowling. Dowling away to number 13. And it's Bob Linder in for a try. Beautiful work there from Wally Lewis at the start of that build-up with a pass that barely touched his hands. Absolute genius. Great Britain now trailing by 10 points to 0. 2 tries to the Australian side. Here's the move coming up as you can see the ball going behind Sterling. He gets it out there to Dowling. And it was finally on to Linden. Look at the acceleration of this fella. Just straight through the gap there like a 3/4. Well, he actually is 3/4 pace. Have you seen a more magic pass than Wally Lewis's in the build-up to that, Graham Hughes?
Magnificent ball from Wally Lewis. I just had to have a look at that Great Britain side, though. When that try was scored, there was 9 English players all caught on that left-hand side of the uprights. And Andy Gregory, one of the men who chased that Australian backline and chased Bobby Linder, stopped right on the try line, put his arms up and said, "Why don't you guys come over here and lend a hand?"
Michael O'Connor, 15 metres out and about 20 metres off centre. Breeze at his back. Strikes that. It's an ordinary looking kick all over the place, but it's 2 points. So Australia lead now by 12 points to Great Britain's 0. Side Crooks goes for a high kick. It's taken beautifully on the full there by the wing 3/4, I believe it is. Awkward position here. Yes, it is. And away they go across the field now out to Crooks. Crooks going for a kick again. Kicking into the breeze. They're trying to go over the defence. It's been taken by Kenny. Rather well too, leapt high for that, tackled by Henderson Gill. Gene Miles running from dummy half, putting him under pressure. He's caught by the legs from Henderson Gill. 12 points to 0, Australia lead Great Britain. We've had about 26 minutes of play in the first half of the 3rd test. Oh, beautifully taken again by Basnett. He's pulled off some marvellous catches, caught that bomb just a moment ago, and took another one very well. Away to Myler. Myler runs from dummy half and he's belted to the ground by Meninga. Watkinson swivels around and gives it to Crooks on the blind side. Lacking support though whenever he runs. There's not a lot of trailers going with him. Gregory straightens it up. He can't get a pass away. He tries to. There was nobody on the move on the outside. I think that's what's incensing the crowd. They're booing a lot, even though Great Britain are in possession. Pinner away to Ward. Ward trying to straighten it up. He tears his way through a couple of defenders. Takes play on the last tackle to within 5 metres of the Australian quarter line. Linden gets a kick in. It's not a bad one. I think it came off an Australian player. It did, and that will be a Great Britain feed. So this is a golden opportunity for the men in white to come up with possession inside the Australian quarter. The scrum screwing right around here. The referee wants it to come back square. It's only 10 metres out from the Aussie line. It's in and out. They bring Henderson Gill in from the blind side. He's very close to getting through the tackle there. It was Linder who pulled him down finally. Myler out to Pinner. Pinner onto Schofield. Schofield gets it away to the winger on the sideline there. Again, it was the John Basnett pulling off a very, very nice catch of the ball. He had to leap for that. He was belted over the sideline, but nonetheless there's a little bit of flair starting to be showed by Great Britain when they do elect to move the ball wide. Sterling defeated. It's in and out the Australian side. Sterling tackle straight away. Wouldn't be a bad idea for the referee to have a look at both the lock forwards. I think both are breaking much before the actual scrum has broken up. Encompassing our man Linda in that too. Miles from dummy half. A good run. There's strong defence on the side, on the blind side with Watkinson. They're just inside the Australian quarter. Dowling pumping it up. Strong play again. Simmons looking for work on the blind side, but gives it to Dunn on the open. Dunn running hard. Couldn't quite release his arms there. He had Gary Jack on the fly. Young man desperately trying to get that ball away. Lewis gets a kick downfield. That might be one that'll be difficult because it'll roll end over end with the breeze. Gill feels it. He's inside his quarter. Kenny's there. Kenny comes at him and downs him with a copybook diving tackle on the Great Britain quarter, midfield. John Bassett running from dummy half. And just outside the quarter, Crooks comes on the blind side. 12 points to 0, Australia lead. About 30 minutes of play have gone by. As Goodway comes with a run that evades one defender. He'd do a lot better if he ran straight, though. He tends to veer. Gregory. Pinner. Cut out pass to Burton. And Myler! Myler's into the clear. He's got Schofield on the inside. He goes up the midfield of Schofield. He'll probably score. He will. It's a beautiful try to Great Britain. Beautiful try to Great Britain. Myler busted them up the middle. And Gary Schofield, the man who loves to do the Terry Lamb thing and back up and score the try, came up with a fine exhibition of backing up there, and full credit to Myler on that occasion for getting through and electing to go hard instead of kicking his in it in the other test and earning everybody's ire. That was a splendid bit of work. It traversed about 55, 60 metres, and there's full credit to the Great Britain side. So 12 points to 4. Henderson Gill taking the kick. Schofield, the man on screen at the moment, was the scorer, but there's the man who made it. Tony Myler. All right, Schofield now. Henderson Gill having a look at the kick. He's only about 18 metres out and about 15 metres off centre. Low trajectory. It's a goal! And the loud roar proclaims that Great Britain are back in business. So the scoreline now reads Australia 12, Great Britain 6. Just had a supporter dressed as a kangaroo hurdle the field and run around. But anyway, the kick-off. Great Britain receiving the ball. Let's see what their tactics are with Goodway there coming up. Sterling's right round his boots. See how long they play football in their own quarter. This will be an indication of what sort of instructions Bamford's given them. They've used up a couple of tackles there. They're still in the quarter. And they're going to do it by rote. They're going to take it up about 3 or 4 times. Now here it goes, back in the 4th. Okay, there's the kick going back downfield. It's gone off the side of his boot a little bit. Like O'Connor shields his face from the sun. Elects to come round, gets a pass to Jack. Jack evades one tackle and gets tackled just about 5 metres from the quarter line. Pinner was the tackler. Graham Hughes has got Terry Lamb down there, who's I know anticipating or hoping to get a run.
Terry, first real test of pressure from Great Britain in the series.
Yes, Graham, we're making a lot of mistakes out there, and they capitalise on them, and they won't give us a chance.
What was the atmosphere like in the room? What did Don Fern have to say?
He just said to be a bit more committed in our game and in defence, and mainly our markers working.
What about this Great Britain side? A big kicking game now. They've got a very, very strong breeze.
Yes, well, I tipped myself for at least a 12-point up at half-time, but it's only 6, so we've got to take it as it comes.
OK, thanks, Terry.
Thanks, Greg.
The kick's been put downfield. It's taken by Schofield. Schofield's got it away to Henderson Gill, and Michael O'Connor gets him over the sideline. That was a crossfield bomb by Wally Lewis, trying to catch the Great Britain side sort of napping, but they couldn't do that. Schofield fielded it very well. Now the scrum going down, it'll be an Australian feed, just on the Great Britain quarter line. And that National Panasonic Man of the Series judging is on today, as it always is. Oh, Kenny wrapped up very, very smartly then. Schofield was up on him very, very quickly. Sterling's at dummy half, away to Wally Lewis. Lewis elects to go through the middle of the ruck, forward-wise. And he does a pretty good job when he takes on the forward roll too. Here's Niebling pumping it up. He's found a big hole to run into, and he made an easy 8 or 9 metres through the middle of the ruck there. up to the quarter line. Simmons had a good run from dummy half just a moment ago too. Sterling out to Miles. Miles on the boil, but running just a little bit sideways there. He couldn't straighten it up. Burton was the tackler. Moving it out to Sterling. Sterling on to Dunn. Dunn gets a pass away. It's been pulled down by Crooks. So Great Britain in possession again. And let's see whether they do the kicking game a little bit earlier this time. Goodway coming through the middle. Brings it up to the quarter. They kicked on the fourth tackle last time. They're going to wait that long this time. Back to Gregory. Gregory gets a kick downfield again. Again, it's gone much too off the side of the foot. It's fielded by O'Connor, who evades one tackle and brings it back. Very slow running. Gets it on to Dunn. Dunn goes over the top of one tackle. Crooks takes him round one leg. Simmons on the blind side to Lewis. Lewis throws the dummy. Still going. Wally Lewis on the surge. Gets it away to Mal Meninga. Long pass back in the... Oh, dear, oh, dear. It went on the bounce. It went on the bounce to Linda, the lock forward, who tried to kick it, and he kicked it over the dead ball line. Golden opportunity there for Australia. The pass from Mal Meninga was ill-directed, and Linda really couldn't judge how hard to kick it. There it is. Watch Meninga. This pass went nowhere. It was much too short, and Linda really had hit him on a stride. He had nowhere to go. They're really giving Great Britain some now. Ward taught his way right through, but lacked support. He's up to the quarter. Now Australia under pressure. Watkinson, Gregory, Pinner, Marler, Goodway, Crooks out to Stevenson, inside to Schofield. It's a magic try for the Great Britain side. They've laid it on out there with great hands along the three-quarter line. This is going to have a lot of faces very red in the Australian contingent, let me tell you. Obviously he takes the wider ones out on the quarter, 10 metres in from the sideline. Strikes it. It's there! So, for the first time in the series, with the breeze at their back, we've got a scoreline that's locked at 12 all. Up the short fall of one forward. Now Sterling to feed the ball. Watkinson hasn't got his head in yet. It's in and out. Sterling runs on the open side, but his hair pulled slightly in that tackle. Linda runs from dummy half. He's broken two tackles. That's a good, powerful run from the young fella. Gets to his feet quickly and plays it. Simmons away to Wally Lewis. Lewis out to Kenny. Kenny straightens his man up. Can't get a pass away. There was a fine bit of tackling from Stevenson round his legs. Lewis on to Dunn. Dunn belted to the ground by Crooks. They're 5 metres short of the halfway line. On to Wally Lewis. A long pass out to Shearer up the wing. He gets round his man, goes ahead, kicks over the top. It's a race for the ball. Will Shearer get to it? He's been brought down illegally. And it's going to be a penalty try. A penalty try. Well, I don't think there's any certainty in my mind that a try would have been scored. I've got to be very fair about that. The referee is empowered under the rules of the game to award a try if, in his opinion, a try would undoubtedly have been scored had an illegality not occurred. Now, he was certainly taken out of the play, but whether he would have got to the ball before it went over the dead ball line is a very moot point. Graham Hughes, did you have a recollection on that?
I really couldn't have awarded a penalty try to my own way of thinking. It would have been touch and go. He had no hesitation. He was right on the spot. That's what he's there for.
Anyway, we have a penalty try. It's been awarded, and it's going to be converted by, or attempted to be converted by, Michael O'Connor. Certainly the lead-up work from Dale Shearer was of an excellent nature. He beat a man up the sideline, kicked judiciously, and in the race for the ball, Basnet did exactly what I think 99% of footballers would have done. Gamesmanship. Michael O'Connor's kick is successful, so the scoreline now, it is in Australia's favour by 18 points to 12. And from the kick-off after that converted penalty try, it's been a good kick from Great Britain that's got the ball over the sideline. Kenny was unable to get to it. The scrum will go down. There's still a man short, Great Britain, you'll be aware. Burton was sin bin for 10 minutes on a tackle on Dunn. It's in and out the Great Britain side, onto Myler. Myler out there to Stevenson. Stevenson going upfield, good step. He can't get a pass away. He does now. The ball's on the ground, but I think he might have wrapped it up himself. He has. So even though he created an error, he's been able one of his teammates, Myler, has been able to rectify it. So Australia will now have the opportunity to win the ball from their own feet in a scrum. 18 points to 12. Oh, well, Pinner was quite definitely out of the scrum there. They're both the lock forwards are infringing the rules today. The laws state they can't break from the scrum until the ball is inside at the moment. Now Mal Meninga called on to run as a forward. And he does that effectively. Great Britain player being treated at the moment, Graham Hughes. That's it. Ran from dummy half and gave the pass out to Sterling. Pops a pass nicely to Linda, who's running wide and supporting his teammates very well. Onto Meninga. Meninga gets it onto Sterling. Sterling gets up to the halfway line where he's put down. Dale Shearer, the winger, was midfield at that time. Onto Wally Lewis. Wally there to Meninga. Meninga out to Niebling. Niebling not going anywhere. The defence comes strong and hard at him. Gregory, I must again compliment. He's had a top game. There's Dunn pumping it up through the side of the ruck. Coming well. Got it past to Miles. And he couldn't handle it. That'll be a knock-on. It came very late into Miles' credit. He very nearly grabbed it. But it's going to be a knock-on. And this will be a Great Britain feed. 10 metres, 12 metres outside their quarter midfield. The referee wanting that scrum to be fed again. And it's a penalty. Wrong feet against Simmons. Striking prematurely. Not giving him a channel to fire for. Wyden's kick is a good one. Up over the halfway line by about 12 metres. Let's see what they do from the tap restart here. Henderson Gill now gives it on to Watkinson, who'll start it up. Here we go. On to Ward. Ward, a workhorse in this Great Britain side. Played it very badly at 6 to go, and they do persist in walking around the marker who's standing in front of them. Henderson Gill running from dummy half. Tackled on the Australian quarter. Graham, you'll give me notification when Burton comes on.
Burton has moved to the tunnel. He's just waiting for the okay to go to the...
Hyler right through the middle, gets interfered with Raskagni. He's gone around one man, he's tackled. Mr. Raskagni was down on the ground. Hyler sort of ran into him a little bit. It's away to Pinner. Pinner, the long lob pass, being taken well out there by the winger. And it's Bastet who came forward on a diagonal run, nearly penetrating Australia's defence. There's a penalty been awarded. Failure to get off the tackle player. Don't do that. Paul Dunn, don't kick the ball away and compound the error. They must take the kick at goal. My director, Alan Catt, will tell me how much time we've had. Still 18 minutes to go, according to Mr. Catt. And that will bring us up to a time when the temperature will still be about 2 or 3 degrees. There's Burton there, you can see peeping round the policeman. He's the man that was sent from the field for that high tackle. Wyden taking the kick at goal. Henderson Gill getting a bit of a massage there at the moment. And there's the kick. It's successful, so that scoreline now moves to Australia 18, Great Britain 14. Lee Crooks in possession for Great Britain, 10 metres out from the Australian quarter. Watkinson, Gregory, Myler, Pinner, Schofield. Schofield's got support in Stevenson, and it takes a top tackle there from Linda to get him adrift. And that was another continuation of the good form by Linda. Ward running crossfield, heavily built to the ground by Paul Dunn. Australia on the rack at the moment. That's the first time I've said that in this test series. Gregory, dummies, back on the inside to Henderson Gill. He basketballs it straight to Ward. Ward goes hard and straight, but Jack comes over the top. And Dowling's underneath. They're only about 8 metres out now. 10 perhaps. On to Gregory. Gregory to Crooks. Crooks pops a pass to Myler. And up they come in twos to belt him to the ground. It's Potter at dummy half. Last tackle. What are the tactics? Going to be a drop at goal by Schofield? It is. So they reduce that deficit very slightly. 18 to Australia and 15 to the Great Britain side. Whee! Fasten your seatbelts. The last, 10 minutes, 12 minutes of this game is going to be... Now Sterling to feed the ball. Watkinson hasn't got his head in yet. It's in and out. Sterling runs. on the open side, but his head. Field goal attempt taken without any pressure in the last 10 minutes right now. There's a kick being charged down, being taken as a reflex catch by Burton, and Burton is tackled, and the referee has ruled that it's a handover. So Australia come up with possession here. Dunn on the halfway line. They've not been able to camp in the Great Britain territory. Jack on the surge out wide. Things have looked promising from time to time, but they've not been able to sustain the same deal of pressure against a vastly improved Great Britain side. Mal Meninga has been a partial success in the forwards for Australia. Obviously a little adrift with his positional play. Niebling, a nice pass to Sterling. Sterling looks for support and ran into terrible trouble there as he stepped into Myler and Gregory. Check. Lewis, Dunn, Meninga, pass away, picked it up, no knock on, got it out to Shearer. Shearer's taken to the ground about 15 metres from the Great Britain quarter line. Some messy play coming up now. Gene Miles gets a pass away to Shearer. Shearer gets into the Great Britain quarter. 18 points to 15. There's Roy Simmons running around behind the defence. Got it to Wally Lewis. Wally throws a dummy. Another dummy. And Lewis has gone under the post. An incredible solo try from Wally Lewis may well have gained Australia just that little bit of a breathing space here that'll hold them away from this Great Britain side. They punched it up the blind side a couple of times. Dale Shearer was in there for a while, made a bit of an inroad, then Wally Lewis went up there throwing dummies left, right and centre. The Great Britain side, for one of the rare occasions, hung off. Royce Simmons was involved, and that is a critical score right underneath the posts at this late stage in the game. And there's the score, 22 to 15. We watch Royce Simmons running and popping the pass. And watch Wally Lewis. You'd swear he was in a dummy factory. He's throwing dummies all over the place. And then not only is he able to go, Sterling's belting him and saying, go round, go round. And that's where he scored, right near the right hand upright. Michael O'Connor with a kick to come. Michael O'Connor, 10 metres out, a few metres off centre. Successful. The scoreline now moves on. Australia 24, Great Britain 15. Just on the Great Britain quarter line, the score still 24 to 15. The kick ahead's been taken. Sterling falls on it. Rather lucky for Australia there. Gregory went with a little kick over the top. Lewis is like a traffic cop out there directing traffic. Gets it away to Brett Kenny. Kenny's on the weave. The pass is knocked down. It's picked up by Gregory. Gregory's upfield. It's a good sidestep, and he's lost the football backwards, and it's picked up by Australia's replacement, Les Davidson, who was following close behind. Didn't play that football. Should have been penalised. It's gone on there to Brian Niebling. And Niebling has made about a 15-metre gain. On to Wally Lewis. The Great Britain side just starting to show signs of lagging now. Not able to get back on side quickly. On to Sterling. Now Davidson. Davidson running hard. Cops one, but gets the pass away to Simmons, who knocks on. And that, with a couple of minutes to go, is going to give Great Britain a last opportunity. But they've got to score a try and kick a goal to even get close. And that's not going to be good enough. Getting quite overcast here at Wigan, and cold, believe me, it's cold. Wally Lewis, again, doing a lot of talking out there. And the referee not happy with the way the front rows have not gone down. They are down now. It's in and it's out. But Gregory should have been penalised there. He didn't retire at any stage. And Sterling agrees with my summation. He was round on the Australian side. Now Sterling is around the legs of Potter. Time running out. Gregory, good way. Running in that sort of diagonal fashion. Graham Hughes, you've got news.
Well, just as Great Britain try and make their way upfield again, Terry Lamb is going to play in all these games on the England tour. He's on the sideline to replace Mal Meninga. Okay. Well, he'll probably come in as lock forward, and Linda will go into the
the second row, one would think. Now, Great Britain still not giving up on this job. Ward tries to straighten and is knocked backwards, but regathers his forces and goes upfield, makes a good inroad. Took a good tackle there from Davidson to put him away the second time. Schofield onto Gregory. Gregory out to Pinner. Pinner to Henderson. Gill. He's up the sideline. Gary Jack comes at him and brings him down. And he's over the sideline. Only 5 metres out from the Australian line. Sensations continue to come in this match. Terry Lamb will just about get on the field here. Alan Catt, time to go, please. 1 minute to go. So Terry Lamb will be allowed on the field. Melbourne Inga being called off. And it'll be a scrum to go down with an Australian fee. And here's a replay of that. You'll see the cover work done by Gary Jack. Just managed to get him over the sideline. Well, the crowd has been told us there's something in the order of 20,000, which would put it under the 100,000 they need for the series, but it looks more than 20,000 to me. But I'm no judge of a crowd at Central Park, I hasten to add. 24 to 15, scrum about 8 metres out now from the Australian line. It's in and out the Australian side. Sterling swung to the ground by Gregory. Lamb's going to get his first touch of the football here. Here's Terry Lamb. He gets it away to Wally Lewis. Wally Lewis goes strong and hard and takes it beyond the advantage line. And Terry Lamb, your second touch of the football was a knock on. And that's a misfortune. The time going to run out on this match, but what a turn-up it's been. Great Britain have certainly got something to build on. I feel rather pleased for Maurice Bamford in a way, because he's received so much flack from all and sundry over here. It's in and out. Beautiful clean heel. Way to Myler. The run around. The double around actually to Pinner. The pass has gone finally to Gregory, who's back slam. And just as well he was. There was plenty of room out there on the right. Miles was the man who did the slam. Henderson Gill trying to use himself as a battering ram. About 15 metres out from Australia's line. Schofield looks up the sideline as Lee Crooks as he takes it up the blind side. Now, can Great Britain get a try in the dying stages? It's on to Andy Goodway. He's within about 5 metres before he's put down. And there's the hooter in the background, and that's the end of the section. A magnificently fought out third but not deciding test match, won by Australia 24 to 15.